In this video tutorial, we're going to learn how to navigate and get the most out of searching the JCAM Library's All Resources search platform. The All Resources search platform is very convenient, and it's where we recommend most students start when conducting their research. It allows the researcher to search most of our individual subject-specific databases at once, allowing you to cast a wide net while saving you time. Our All Resources search tool is the default search option on the JCAM Library's homepage. Let's say you're researching the role of women in Gothic literature. You can start with a really broad search like Gothic, and we'll see once this page loads that we actually get a pretty high number of search results back. We get well over 300,000 search results. Sometimes this can even be up in the millions, and that's just not helpful. You'll also see here that we have a research starter for Gothic language, which is not our topic. Remember, we're interested in Gothic literature and specifically women in Gothic literature. So this is telling us we need to make our search phrase more specific. Now, the search platform will give us some suggestions. As we see here, we see Gothic literature, we see architecture, fiction, horror, but we're interested in literature, so I'm going to click on that. And now you'll see we have a smaller search result list, still in the tens of thousands, so we're going to continue to narrow that down by making our search phrase more specific and using the filters. Let's start by making our search phrase more specific. I'm going to actually use advanced search, which you can find in the upper right corner. Here I can use the Boolean operators and, or not to construct a more complicated search phrase. You can write these operators in the search bar yourself if you'd like. This just gives you the drop-down option. So I'm going to do Gothic literature and women. And as we see, we have drastically decreased our search results. We're now at 5,571, and those search results should be way more relevant to our specific research question. Using AND will give us search results that include the keywords Gothic literature and women, so it's that intersection. But if we play around with them, let's say we use OR, we might get search results back that are either about Gothic literature or women. This is going to give us an enormous number of search results. And yep, we are well over 25 million. And as I've been mentioning, this is not going to be a very relevant search list for us. This is going to be about Gothic literature or women, not that intersection, which is what we're actually trying to do research on. The last Boolean operator we could play around with is the word not. This can actually be quite helpful if you are trying to eliminate certain subjects from your search result list. So, for example, we did see that Gothic is attached to a lot of other subjects. For example, architecture. Maybe we don't want to see anything about Gothic architecture popping up in our search result list, muddying the waters. We can add a not architecture to our search phrase, and it will kick out all of the search results that use architecture as a keyword. This will decrease our search result list number, but make it more relevant. All of this saves you time. But let's go back to our original Gothic literature and women. While you're on the advanced search page, you can also take advantage of some of these other filters that are built right into this page. You can do all of your narrowing down in one spot. But for now, we're just going to do Gothic literature and women. And here we are back to our 5,571 search results. This is a great place to start, but we're going to want to use the filters to further narrow this down. Filters not only help you narrow your search down to something more specific and relevant, they also allow you to set the specific parameters and requirements for your project in the database itself, so you know that everything you're seeing in the search result list will qualify for what your professor has asked for. Filters will save you a ton of time. You can select some of the more basic filters up here at the top under the main search bar, but I like to click All Filters to open up a side panel of all of the different filters that we have access to. Our first filter here at the top is called Full Text. If you select the full text filter, the database will kick out all the items that need to be requested from one of our partner libraries through our interlibrary loan service called Iliad. This is helpful if you're on a time crunch and don't want to wait for an Iliad article. They can sometimes take up to several business days to be delivered, and sometimes they might not even be available at all. So selecting full text will only show you articles that you can access right away as a PDF or on a third-party website. Our next filter is academic peer-reviewed journals. If you select this filter, you will only be shown articles that have been peer-reviewed, which is the highest standard of authority in academic publishing. These articles are very trustworthy. They've been checked by a panel of other experts, professionals, and academics in the field and have received the thumbs up. Many professors want you to use peer-reviewed articles for your research. We're actually going to skip over catalog only and available in library collection. You don't necessarily need to know about those right now. We're going to jump down to published date. This filter will allow you to set the window of publication for the items you get back in your search result list. Professors will often tell you that they only want you using articles or other pieces of information published within the last 10 years or so. This is where you can set that requirement, and once applied, you'll only get things returned in the search results that were published within that specific window that you designated. We're going to skip content provider and jump down to source types. This is where you get to select what kind of information you want out of the databases. As you can see, we have a lot of different types of information popping up in this search result, and any of these could be useful to you depending on the project and the type of research you're doing. But let's say your professor wants you to use academic journal articles, maybe dissertations and theses, and you're interested in research starters because those are really helpful when you're beginning your research. Once you select these, you can rest assured that these are the kinds of information you'll actually get back in your search result list. The last filter I'm going to highlight today is the subject filter. This is a list of keywords and tags that appear in our search result list and how many times they appear. That's known as hit count. This list of keywords and tags let us know which words academics are using to describe their own research. It can help us brainstorm new keywords to use in our own searches, and it lets us know how relevant our search result actually is. If these words here are mostly relevant to our original search topic, then we know that this search result we've done is worth our time looking into. If these words are full of terms or phrases that are totally off base, then we know we need to change the actual words we're using in our search phrase and get a different search result going. But what the subject filter is actually used for is to allow you to get super granular with your search results. You can go through this long list of terms and phrases and select the ones that are most relevant to your specific research topic and just ignore the terms that are more or less irrelevant to what you need. Then when you hit update, the items with the terms you selected will stay, and everything that did not have one of those terms you selected will be kicked out. So you'll have a much smaller search result list, but they should be far more relevant and useful to your actual needs. Filters can be extremely helpful and save you time, but using too many at once might gum up the works. The same goes for too many search terms at once. It's important to do multiple combinations of search terms and filters to see what you get. You'll create a slightly different search result list each time, and you never know what incredible articles you could find. After applying all of those filters, we're down to 160 search results, and these should all be pretty relevant to our actual search question. Let's say we find an article we're really interested in reading, like this one about Stephen King's Carrie. We can click the Access Options button below the article and select the way we would like to access that article. PDF is usually the easiest. It's pretty reliable. There will be times when a PDF is not an option, and you'll have to click Online Full Text or perhaps our Request Through Iliad option. When you click on PDF, it will open this article in this tab as a PDF. From here, you can read it directly in your browser, or you can take advantage of the options at the top to download. You can listen to the article. You can save this article to your EBSCO account. You can see this article cited in every major citation style. You can save this article to a folder in your EBSCO account. You can share using one of these options, including a link. And you can print if you like. You can also search for specific words within this article from this page as well. The All Resources search platform also has a few other fun tools that you can access over here on the left-hand menu. You can save articles and searches to your EBSCO account. You can organize your research by projects. You can view past searches that you've done and past articles that you've looked at, as long as you're logged into your EBSCO account. All Resources also has a concept mapping tool, which can be extremely helpful when you're trying to familiarize yourself with a general topic and get started with your research. Here we're looking at the concept mapping grid for Gothic fiction. It presents a lot of basic foundational information on the topic. We can also look at this in map form, which is really great if you are someone who visualizes things really well. So here we see Gothic fiction centered in the middle, and then a bunch of related terms like goth subculture, horror fiction, fantasy literature shooting off of it. You can use the search builder tool to create new searches that interest you from these terms. So let's say I'm interested in horror fiction, and yes, that panel gets in the way. I can explore horror fiction more, or I can select add to search, and that will begin to craft a whole new search for me using these new terms. So let's say I'm also interested in horror fiction in England. I can click on England, and again I can explore it further, or I can add it to search. Now if I select see full results, I'll get a whole new search result for horror fiction and England, and I can start my whole process over again. And those are the basics for searching the JKM Library's All Resources search platform. If you'd like to go over this more in depth, or if you'd like a little extra help with specific research, please reach out and schedule an appointment with a librarian. Thank you.